What's up, you guys? This is Civil Disobedience bringing you the latest in the R. Kelly news. So, Azriel has taken some shots with her parents. They look like they're enjoying life and they look like they're having fun. And basically, I just want to give some commentary on what I would like to see us take away from this as Black women. Um, I do not like the fact that after her suicide attempt, and remember now, all of this information is provided for us courtesy of the Clary family. No one would know this without them sharing it. So, no disrespect. I just want to react to it. One, as a parent, two, as a daughter, three, as a Black woman who feels like we're not addressing the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is definitely young ladies having to be responsible and proactive in their own lives and for their own choices, okay? So leave your thoughts and opinions below. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up. I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. So, Azriel is 22 years old now, and she's been in contact with R. Kelly since she was about 17 years old, maybe a little bit younger than that. But for sure, sexual contact with R. Kelly was done at 17. And, Daddy Claire has been very vocal, trying to act like we're exploiting his daughter and we're too big of R. Kelly fans. Number one, I'm not really an R. Kelly fan. And number two, Mr. and Mrs. Clary, Mr. and Mrs. Savage, nobody is a bigger R. Kelly fan than you two because you gave up the ultimate sacrifice just to be in this man's favor. So I find it a little insulting when people put their business on television, allow their daughter to coincide, to consort, to be around a man accused of what R. Kelly has been accused of, exploit the situation on social media and on television, and then you want to blast everybody else for trying to ride the wave. It has nothing to do with being a fan because we can never out-fan you guys, okay? And I kind of want to make them feel bad because it's not worth what you all put up for it. It's not worth what you guys are losing now. The pictures are cute. I love the fact that Azriel is showing she looks like her mom. She's a beautiful girl. You can look at her features. She got her face from her mom, her facial features, her coloring and the shape of her face from her dad. So you love to see family. But we're not going to say you're like dad number one, because you could have hooked your daughter up with Matthew Knowles. You could have hooked your daughter up with Jermaine Dupri. You could have hooked your daughter up with someone who would have really, furthered her musical career and justifiably keep her safe and supported like a young lady should be until she's making decisions that are valid for her life. However, you guys help to validate a situation where a person who's into young girls felt comfortable not only dealing with your daughter, but getting close enough to you too. At a certain point, you knew she was living in the house. You were okay with it. I feel like everybody fell out of favor when they found out that the women were sleeping together. When they found out Azriel and Joycelyn may have been sexually involved with each other and that they were actually living in the same house, I think that's when the dads and the moms were all like, oh no, I want my daughter out of there and all of those things of that nature. And I don't like how we are making her appear like a child brought home. This is a grown woman, okay? A grown woman who was so secure in her decision making at 17 that it's led to the consequences we see now. And see, if she wasn't dealing with a man like R. Kelly, if she was dealing with, a pimp named Slickback from Chicago, would we be so enthused about her and her life? Because there are some girls who are really going through some heartbreaking stories. We're trying to act like she was kidnapped and withheld from her family against her will. Well, there are women who are actually cold cocked. And if you don't know what that means, they're knocked out via drugs or someone's fist or a bottle, driven across state lines to have sex with people, not given any kind of money or accountability for what has happened to them, and then driven back home and intimidated into not telling the police, and it's done to them consistently and over again. And here we have a young lady who simply just decided to be in a relationship with a man her parents didn't approve of. So how much of this has to do with us trying to make R. Kelly look like a monster? And again, I am not super R. Kelly fans like the Clarys, because I wouldn't have took my sons to R. Kelly, okay? R. Kelly couldn't have touched my boys for a softball or little league. You understand what I'm saying? I would have been one of the parents who would have showed up if R. Kelly was the coach, and I would have went behind his back, and I would have wrote a letter and petitioned that bad boy around and got him off of my little league team. I don't care how much money he's making. He wouldn't have had influence over my sons. So if you know he has the reputation he has and you take your daughter to him, don't get mad at people for wanting to listen to his music. Still, I feel like it's a lot of hypocritical bull that's being allowed, and no one is holding the parents accountable. As I said in my other videos about this situation, they said in the Lifetime documentary or docuseries, the parents can't be to blame. I blame the parents first. I do. I blame the parents first and foremost, especially in a situation like Azriel and Joycelyn, because both parents interacted with R. Kelly and they said they heard the accusations against him, but they didn't feel they were true. They were unfounded. I think Daddy Clary said he was willing to allow Azriel to work with R. Kelly as long as someone from his camp was around or someone from R. Kelly's camp was around. Now, where did you don't even know people in R. Kelly's camp. Why would you feel comfortable with R. Kelly's camp being around your daughter when you don't know him like that? So parents, girls, stop thinking that your vagina is gold. I know every dad wants to believe their daughter is a little princess. Dads, do not think that just because you attach your daughter to liking nice things, that she's going to know how to ward off guys who don't mean her well. Sometimes you're teaching your daughter to value those things. Like, I value a Coach bag. I value UGG boots. I value an iPhone more than I do myself. And so any man that's able to walk up and give me these things, I'm with him. You want to teach your daughters, even if you're able to afford to hand them these things. Now, I want you to know you're valuable without this. And stop acting like a man owes you to respect your daughter if she's not demanding it. So I know I'm probably going to catch a lot of heat. Leave your thoughts and opinions below. This is Civil Disobedience. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. Peace.